One. Hello.
Welcome to Sit Back and Overreact, the show where we you sit back and we overreact. I'm still not good at that.
Sit back and re-chat. Felt weird when I said it.
Guys, we're trying to make this new segment title work, but like we don't know what we're doing. This is a very relaxed episode. We're just gonna chat. It's in the title. It's in the subtitle. Is that what it's called? A subtitle?
No, it's just the title, but we don't know exactly what it's going to be. You in the future know what we decided on. We have no idea what we're going to call this. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're basically going to start like a series where we just kind of talk about what is going on in our lives for an hour or whatever. Because
just
I think
to hang out.
Yeah.
Just vibing.
Yeah. The purpose of the podcast is not always to be stressful. We kind of just I feel like when I listen to podcasts, I like it when people just have normal people conversations about normal people life. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to talk about normal people life.
That's true.
It doesn't always have to be something crazy or like a deep conversation, right? So we're just going to kind of talk about surface level things right now and just kind of chill because I don't feel like writing a script this week.
Yeah, that's basically the reason we couldn't come up with a good idea. So
for the record, we did not start a podcast without any ideas. We have like a 6-page document full of ideas. It's just nothing worked this week.
We're just lazy this week.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just, all weekend I sat and I watched The Good Place instead of actually working on homework. So that's just the vibe of this week,
Yeah.
Which and for the record, most of our episodes are recorded about a month in advance. So this one will not be like today is Sunday for everybody who's listening, and we will have recorded this the previous one. We're gonna accelerate this episode so it fits. But yeah.
So it feels more timely, mostly because on the day we're filming this, the inauguration happened. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, it was fun. I got out of class at 11:30, so I just got there in the nick of time to watch Lady Gaga sing the national anthem. It was very fun.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I have a good reason. Well, I don't know if it's a good reason. I needed money, so I went to work. I really wanted to, though, and I'm hoping that I can find, because I know it obviously was live streamed, so I'm hoping I can find it somewhere just to rewatch it, because I do want to watch it. It's a very important moment in, U.S. history, so, I want to watch it, but I'm a broke college student, and I needed money.
You're gonna be able to find somebody who recorded it. I mean, we have recordings of inaugurations from forever ago, as soon as cameras were invented, it's not like...
And before that, they had, one guy, in the corner just painting the entire thing, frame by frame.
Yeah, somebody at in Biden's team was like, "Hey guys, just hear me out for a second. What if we just didn't record the inauguration?" and nobody ever is gonna know what was said. No one's gonna know any details.
Lady Gaga was there. You just have to take our word for it. We swear to God she was there.
It sounds like a drug trip. There's a presidential thing that happened, and Lady Gaga and J-Lo was there, and this guy named Garth Brooks gave a bear hug to
Bernie
Bill
Sanders
Clinton.
became a meme again.
Yeah. Oh, it was funny. I mean, I watched it. I have a couple.
It's not even that outlandish, but when you say it, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It isn't. But anyway, I have a couple of things that I enjoyed. I liked that Kamala Harris was wearing purple because it's blue and red coming together. And I was talking about this to Noah earlier, and I literally said, I like that Kamala Harris is wearing purple because it's blue and red. And I'm like, if somebody were to look at this conversation and not know anything about American politics, it would just look like I was describing what purple looked like to somebody.
That's true. Yeah,
it's
that's funny.
Blue, but then you add red on top of it. Oh, what is that person's name in the Hunger Games with the crazy wigs? Elizabeth Banks.
Yes. Yeah, 1 second. I can remember. I know this. I definitely know this. Oh, God. Effie Trinket.
I literally was about to say Petri dish.
What?
Petri dish trinket. No, wait, what did you say? I wasn't even listening. I was distracted by the Petri dish thing. What is her name?
Oh, my God. I said Effie Trinket. It's Effie.
Effie Trinket. I was going to say Lady Gaga gave me Effie Trinket vibes because she had this big bird on her chest, and I was like, what?
Oh, right.
What the hell? What is that?
Yeah, well, you texted our group chat. We have a group chat with both of our each other and then both of our boyfriends. Would you like to tell everyone what it's called, Heather?
Right. Okay, listen. I I feel attacked right now. So I am known for really stupid group chat names, and I think it originally started as like Julia needs to stop getting her news from Twitter. I think that was the original group chat. But, eventually, because we wanted to like have like an open dialogue about what was going on in the news and things like that, just because I felt like I wasn't informed enough just as a American person. And then we eventually just started sharing memes in the chat, and so I named it "News is for Commies, Let's Share Memes." We still kind of sometimes share news.
We do. It's like a mix of like stupid stuff and actually educational stuff. What was I gonna say with that? Oh yeah, I saw you sent like a picture of, you did. You sent a picture of Lady Gaga to the chat. But yeah, you didn't say she had Effie Trinket vibes. You just said she had like Mockingjay vibes. So I was just thinking about Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, true.
In like her Mockingjay getup and stuff.
Either way.
Or like in the second movie where like she has like the wedding dress and it turns into a black dress with wings and it's so cool.
Yeah. And I don't know.
It was cool in the books. It's cool in the movies, and I will die on this hill.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't think it's a hot take, but it's not necessarily a hot take. Well, I think people
and she
agree.
also had like this like braid crown too that like isn't the same color as her normal hair, so I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't.
It's
really
interesting.
Matter. I love how we're talking about the inauguration pretty. And we're only talking about Lady Gaga. The rest of it was good. I liked
the rest of it was cool. Yeah, or I assume the rest of it was cool. I am planning on watching it. I swear to God. Yeah. Anyway,
well, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I liked watching it. It was like a historic moment. I watched Trump's inauguration. I remember in high school I was in current events class and we sat and watched it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it was just as interesting.
You were in high school when Trump was inaugurated. That's crazy. I was in my freshman year of college.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too like political on this podcast. Like that's not the point.
I don't like Trump, and that's what I have to say on the subject.
My God. Julia,
I don't like Trump. Sue me. No, I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I'm gonna chill out.
It's funny because like 99% of the people around me have the exact same like demeanor as you concerning politics, but I just try to be like, guys, let's just get along.
Yeah, Heather doesn't like Trump either, but she wants to be. She's better at being informed than I am, if that makes sense.
Well, I just don't like to be angry. The point is not to like blatantly share our political beliefs, but I also liked that there were a lot of people of color that they had to speak at the inauguration, which was amazing. I loved Biden's speech. I thought it was great. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. That's my hot take on the inauguration, which had basically nothing other than Lady Gaga. So,
anyway. Lady Gaga and Kamala Harris's suit.
Yeah, I mean, I love a power suit. I'm not gonna deny it.
Heather's gonna go out and buy a purple power suit just because of Kamala Harris.
I have one. I have a purple power suit.
Oh, you do? I forgot you. Yeah, right. You do, don't you? I forgot.
When I was up in Michigan a few weeks ago, one of my mom's friends like donated a bunch of clothes to me because there was like stuff in there that she had never worn and were like about the same size. So she gave me some clothes and she gave me a purple power suit, and I was so excited about it. It's in a box being shipped to me right now because I didn't have enough room in my stuff, but I'm very excited about it.
Anyway, moving on from the inauguration. I guess school just started. When did school literally just started for me 2 days ago? When did school start for you?
Mine started last Thursday, but then there was like a long weekend, and then Monday was MLK Day. So I've really only had like 3 days of school, but it technically started last week.
Nice. Cool. What classes do you like so far?
I love my pop music class, but I have a whole segment on that, so I'm just gonna hold off for a second. You talk about what you gotta talk about because I've been talking too much, but I'm gonna totally get into. I love my pop music class. It's a lot of work. Let's just let you chat for a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. Well, school just started for me. What day is it? Thursday? No, today's Wednesday. So like yesterday was my first day back. It's been a mix of emotions. It is like my last semester of college, so like there's a lot of inherent like anxiety surrounding that. But most of my classes are pretty good. So far my favorite is U.S. history of LGBT U.S. history. I don't know what it's called. It's queer history of the United States.
I love that. I wish I could take a queer history
Heather,
class.
when I told Heather about this, she was so jealous.
I am jealous. I mean, I'm taking pop music, like history of pop music, so I'm also taking like a history credit.
Right. Genuinely, though, part of the reason I like it so much, obviously it just started, but part of the reason I like it so much already is, like, it's probably the most organized class I have so far.
Julia, I'm not going to stop the podcast, but you need to go get an inhaler.
What? Oh, God.
You're like, oh, yeah, we're this. And then we're doing this thing, and then it's really great.
Listen, my room is very cold. It's very cold in this house. Like, literally, 1 second. Okay, so like this morning, I could literally see my breath. It's so cold in my office. You don't even understand.
I also took a puff of my inhaler just to make sure that I'm not breathing funny, and it's like literally 2 asthmatics running a podcast, just like, hang on, puffer break, and then we both just like do a vape, you know?
It's not a anyway, asthmatic solidarity over here. No, what was I talking about? Right, queer history. Part of the reason I like it so much is because it's the most organized class I have, at least for now. I'm starting to get the gist of my other like, I have a lighting class, which is not online. That's my one in-person class, so it's like for me with like my online classes, it's very important that they're like super organized, otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, no, that being said, like, what other classes do I have? I have my lighting class I mentioned. That's my only in-person class, and it's like lighting for film and video, to clarify. So cinematography, lighting, stuff like that. So that's Friday, so I get to do that. I'm very excited. What other classes? I have a race and ethnicities class, which a little more disorganized, but I'm starting to get the gist of it. And my professor who I emailed finally got back to me and answered some of my questions about the format. So I'm a little more excited. For a while, I was like super frustrated because like basically what happened was it's an asynchronous online class, but like we have the option to go to class in person, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I have a couple
which
of
was
those.
really confusing because like I saw it on the syllabus being like, yeah, no, like my professor on the syllabus was just like, yeah, no, we meet in this room at this time, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought this was what but he explained like it's just for people who want to come in and talk in person and stuff, which is very exciting.
Are you gonna go in person?
No. At least not tomorrow. Maybe in the future I will. It probably would be helpful to eventually do that. But what I wish you would do was like another one of my classes. What other class do I have? Spanish, like intermediate Spanish. What that professor is doing is like it's an asynchronous class and it's fully online as well, but like he's just like there are like certain chunks of time throughout the week that he's just, it is like multiple times like per day throughout the week that he's just in the Zoom classroom, if that makes sense. So like he's just there and I can just pop in whenever I want if I have a question about anything. So I wish that the previous class I talked about did that, because then I wouldn't have to physically go to class. But I guess, you know, either way, it's I'm starting to get the gist of everything. I haven't taken a Spanish class in like 2 years. Yeah. And I procrastinated doing like this final language requirement because, I don't know, I think I just had like I think like my second or third year, I'm in like, I'm in like my 5th year of like my college experience overall, but I've been at the current university I'm going to for like 3 years. I probably mentioned that. Yeah. But yeah, like at some point when I was scheduling for like my 2nd year at this university, the advisor I talked to was like a film and video professor who basically, I shouldn't completely blame it on him because I forgot too, but he also forgot that, by the way, you should probably finish your Spanish, your language requirement now, so like you're not a senior and you haven't taken a Spanish class in 2 years and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, right.
And I have been like practicing, like, you know, doing Duolingo. I'm on like an 88 streak on Duolingo, nice. Which does only transfer to like a couple of months, and like I'm glad I like have some Spanish in my brain leading up to this class, but also I don't remember how Spanish past tense works literally at all. I completely forgot. I know there's like an I with a little chica on top, and it just, oh god.
Yeah, but anyway, I hated taking like language courses just in general. Like in high school, I think I took Spanish for like maybe a year, and my favorite part about it is that this is so embarrassing. My favorite part about Spanish for me in high school was that I spent probably 3 or 4 weeks out of a semester making a piñata that was, if you know who Markiplier is, Tiny Box Tim. It's just this cute little box animation thing. It's like a little character, whatever. And I was like, if I have to make a stupid pinata and waste my time making a pinata, I'm going to make it Tiny Box Tim, and I'm going to watch Markiplier the entire time that I do it. So that's exactly what I did. For like, I spent
adorable.
At least a few weeks making a Tiny Box Tim pinata. If I have a picture, maybe I'll throw it up on YouTube or something.
That was really cute. Yeah, I remember really definitely. I definitely roasted you like at the time as you were doing it because I was like, Markiplier's weird, but I mean that was really cute and you did a really good job on it. Now that I'm looking back, but
it was a very cute pinata.
Yeah, kind of a sidetrack, but like I know my favorite thing about my Spanish classes in high school was like getting to make Spanish food. True. Like for like like because I feel like every Spanish class has some sort of like, oh hey, you have to do an activity related to Spanish culture and stuff like Mexican culture. Like you can go to a Spanish church or go to a Mexican restaurant or whatever. Like I said Spanish churches if there are just Spanish churches in my area. I don't think there are. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway,
you're saying that like with the context of this is so funny. And it's not necessarily problematic, but the high school we went to, neither of the Spanish teachers were Latinx in literally anyway. So it's like, and that's just like how it is up in Michigan. It's just like not a super Hispanic population in general.
Right. I wonder
Florida's
if this is
different. Florida's a huge population, but.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, I liked making flan in high school. I really liked making flan in high school. That was like my main thing. Both years I think I made like gluten-free dairy. I don't think it has gluten in it, but like dairy-free flan, and it was really fun.
Yeah, I think I made a bomb guacamole. And guacamole takes about 30 seconds to make, so that was my thing.
That's true. Flan takes significantly longer. I just want to do flan because it tastes yummier.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Flan was fun.
I'm glad you're enjoying your classes for the most part.
Yeah, so far. I've definitely, again, I've had a bit of anxiety here and there. Oh yeah, I also have a class that's like, it's basically for my major, film and video major. It's like what is it called? It's called Issues in Film and Video and stuff, but it's like, it's a final class you take in the major at the school I go to before you graduate. So it's about like prepping you for the real world and stuff, and like going into the world with a film and video production degree. And it's terrifying. Like, every Monday and Wednesday I go into that class and I'm reminded like, oh wow, my college career is going to end soon and I'm going to scream. Just general anxiety about, you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Actually, you don't know what I mean because you're not graduating yet.
Oh man, today in my voice lesson, my teacher said the words senior recital and I almost vomited. A senior recital is like a 30-minute concert that only you have to put on, and you have to do it to graduate.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that.
At least I don't have to do that. I think that's all my classes. I have 15 credits a semester, which is crazy for me, but like for Heather, that's like child's play.
I would literally trade my left leg to do 15 credits. That would be so amazing.
Anyway, what about you? Talk about your pop music class.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess I'll kind of go through the classes that I have in general.
Yeah.
I have 9. Well,
oh my god.
I technically have 8 right now. I'm still waiting for one of them to be scheduled, but I will eventually have 9. So I like most of my classes so far. I'll save history of pop music to the end, but let's see, where am I at? So my first class in a week is functional keyboard, which is basically just kind of the second trimester of that. So it's just kind of like learning how to play chords, learning how to sight read, doing stuff like that. It's a hybrid class, so I'm excited for that. I like my teacher. It's a really small group of people, which is nice. Smaller class is nice. And then I'll have to actually go into class every once in a while, which will be cool. And then I'll have a repertoire lesson. I have like my voice lessons are split up this semester. So on Mondays I have like a repertoire 30-minute lesson where I sing like all of my individual pieces for a lesson. And then on Wednesdays I'll have a tech lesson where I do like overall general like vocal health things and like different warm-ups and stuff just to kind of treat and vocal health basically. And then I have a choir. So my first choir is a all-women choir. So nice. I had that, and that's exciting. I'm enjoying it so far. I had my first meeting literally about 2 hours ago for that class. So nice. I'm enjoying it so far. We have like 8 pieces or something already, and there's bound to be more. What I like about being in college choirs is like you just kind of like get to it and you literally just sight read and you go, and that sounds intimidating, but being in the system for so long, I can just like sit and sight read a piece in a choir. And I'm a soprano too, so like I'm kind of speaking from a place of privilege here, but and what I mean by that is like I most often will have the melody or only slight deviations from the melody, so reading isn't like super complicated. That's what I mean by that.
Wait, so you say you're a soprano too? How many sopranos are there? Are there like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
Well, I mean, in terms of people, there's probably like 20, 30.
Oh.
But soprano 2 versus 1 means like if you're a soprano 1, you always take like the super high notes or the melody usually. If you're a soprano 2, like say you're singing a song and a melody or whatever, and you are singing in like 2 parts, so like sopranos will sing the top line and altos will sing the bottom line in terms of sheet music, but then every once in a while that will split up into like 4, or if you're in a full men and women's choir, that'll split up into 8 or maybe 12 parts. And so the 1 versus 2 distinction is really just for if there's like a big chord, or like if there's parts of the song that will have 2 parts per line. So if you're soprano 1, you will sing the top of the top line. If you're a soprano 2, you'll sing the bottom of the top line. And it just gets super convoluted and confusing because, especially in a women's choir, there's technically only 4 parts. So if you sing like SSAA, which is soprano, alto, alto, women's choir music, and it splits into 8 parts, then I'm like a soprano 2 high, so it's like a weird family tree, and it gets all convoluted and annoying, but it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying that so far. Nice. Let's see, what else do I have? I don't know. I know, I just kind of like take them as they come. I've got them on my schedule, and I'm like, all right, that one's here. I have music theory, which is interesting right now, because I'm like, my normal teacher is out of, I guess let's just say like out of town. My normal teacher is out of town right now, so I'm technically like mooching off a different class right now.
Nice.
For my music theory class, so I'm not even with my normal teacher for that class. Then I have oral training, which is, we've talked about oral training before.
I've failed at oral training before.
Oral, yeah. And then I also have a music and film honors class.
Oh yeah, you get to write like soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah, so
or like learn about soundtracks.
Yeah, so it's technically not a class, but it's also not a class. Basically, I'm in the honors program at my school, and how it works is in the fall, if you're in the honors program, you spend the semester creating a class from the ground up, and if you take honors in the spring, you take the class that the previous semester made. So it's a college student made course. It only meets like once a week, and then it's mostly discussion based, but it's a super interesting thing. And the final project is to write a score to a short film, I think, from my understanding.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that. And that's
cool. Did they just give you a short film, or like
I don't know exactly
do you have to like find?
Yeah, we haven't had our first meeting yet. It'll be this Friday, but...
Well, I'm not planning on making a short film in the next semester, but if I was, I would hit you up.
So that leaves to the last class I wanted to talk about, which is my history of pop music class. And that is super fun. It seems like it's going to be a stupid amount of work, which sucks, but I'm super excited about it just because I'm kind of like a geek for stuff like that. So... pop music, it's not just like listening to Lady Gaga all day. It's
listening to Taylor Swift all day. Obviously.
Unfortunately not. No, so I guess technically from what I've learned, popular music history is defined by any music that an entire like large group of people was able to listen to. So technically popular music only started in like the 1850s, 60s, in the United States anyway. Other places I don't even know. But so we start our studies in that class with minstrelsy, so that's exciting. Did I tell you about this?
What is that word? Minstrelsy?
I guess we didn't talk about it. Maybe I made a joke about it to you in text. I don't remember. But minstrelsy is basically it was the first form of music that was spread to a large group of people in the United States. Otherwise, it was just kind of like you played for your family and whatnot. It wasn't like a big thing. So minstrelsy was a group of performers, like singers, dancers, comedians that would go on tour, and then they would spread songs. But the fun part is that they're all in blackface and making fun of African Americans.
Oh no! Oh my! I've never heard of this.
What, you've never heard of minstrelsy? No way.
I mean, I know people used to make fun of do blackface a lot, and that's not good.
Minstrelsy was like the form of entertainment for 80 years in the United States. 80 years. From I think 1840 to 1920, minstrel shows were incredibly popular. Like everybody went to go to the minstrel show. Like, and you know what's so messed up? I think I was telling you about this, but like it's so messed up that songs like, you know, Swanee River and like I Wish I Was in Dixieland, you know those like songs from your childhood.
I think so.
All of them are like violently racist, and it's just I just find that so interesting. And kind of like the theme of the class is that we're going to be talking about how popular music in the United States and just race relations in general kind of go hand in hand, because you oftentimes will see the pattern of African American culture producing a type of something of music in culture and whatever, and then other people within our culture will basically appropriate it and kind of steal it and then make it their own and then capitalize on it. This happens with you know, minstrelsy. Like, you know, slaves at the time would be like singing songs, and then their like slave owners would take the songs and then put them into minstrel shows. And then that happened with jazz, that happened with blues, that happened
I was thinking about jazz,
rock, that happened with hip hop, that happened it's just like a time and time again kind of formula. So I think that's a really interesting thing and a super interesting conversation. But basically, there's this specific thing I wanted to talk about concerning minstrelsy. And it was this fact that I learned, and this is kind of a tangent, but when I heard this, I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So, do you know what the cakewalk is?
No. So
the cakewalk is like, it was like a, you know, early 20th century kind of dance that people would do. It's just like a super popular dance that everybody would do. It was kind of like to a certain type of music. It was like pre-ragtime style music, like, you know, like the Entertainer, like
oh, okay, gotcha.
Like that kind of music. Like before ragtime was really like became it doesn't matter, that type of music, and you would do like this dance with a bunch of other people, and whatever. It was just like a dance. And the origin of the cakewalk and this is just like I kind of say this crudely, but this is like the most white person thing I've ever heard in my life. So the cakewalk originated from the minuet is a similar dance that often very wealthy white slave owners would do. It's just kind of like this, you know, frilly, like very proper formal dance that they would do at, like, you say at a plantation. Somebody would host a party and then they would all do the minuet to somebody playing on the piano. And in African American slaves at the time, they would go back to wherever they would be working the event, so they would see the owners of the plantation doing this silly dance. So in their free time, they would go into wherever they lived and they would mock them doing the minuet, and they would just like make fun of them. And the funny thing is, the white slave owners would then see them mocking the minuet and not realize they were mocking them. And they would be like, oh, I guess that's just how the slaves dance. So then the minstrelsy people would take the dance that they were doing and mock it in a minstrel show, and that created the cakewalk. I'm like,
mockingception.
Yeah, it's literally mockingception. And I just learned that last class, but I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, what is more of a white person thing to do than to see someone mocking you and totally not
register it,
and
not
then also
whatsoever.
In turn mock it to like make a joke of the people that are mocking you. I thought that was so much thing ever.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Anyway, that's my rant about minstrelsy. I just think it's a super interesting topic, and I'm very much enjoying learning about it. But anyway, what is our next topic? dude?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if, I mean, obviously school overlapped for us, but like, it's just an episode about like what's going on in our lives. Like, I guess, I mean, the next thing I was going to just talk about was like books I've been reading and shows I've been watching, because like I've just been reading and watching a bunch of interesting stuff.
You watched, talk about that.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do shows first. But like, my boyfriend and I have been getting through a lot of shows. We got through his favorite show of all time is The Leftovers, which we just finished, and it's only 3 seasons. It's on HBO Max if you have it. It's amazing. It's so good. Everything about it is so good. I've literally been thinking about rewatching it, which I don't rewatch stuff a lot, whether it's like a movie or a show. I don't rewatch stuff very often. I always like to watch something new. But like, but yeah, like I've been thinking like if I want to rewatch it or not, because it's so good. But basically, if you haven't seen it, the premise is that 2% of the world's population just vanishes. And the first season takes place 3 years after that initial departure. They call it the departure, and it's just them trying to, you know, put the pieces back together. Everyone's lives are changed. Even when you're like looking at characters who like say you have a family who like didn't lose anyone by the departure in their immediate family, like even those families are like torn apart by like what happened, and like just crazy stuff, and you really feel for all the characters. And like another thing too is obviously the global event, but like you focus on the first season, at least focuses on like on the small town of Mapleton, New York, and how they are dealing with it. And it's just crazy. I love all the characters so much, and it really, it's, you know, it makes you think a lot about, like, spirituality, and, like, you know, it gets very existential, and it's, like, what's real and what's not, and, like, people, you know, the things people tell themselves and the things people believe to be true after something that unexplainable happens. It's just really interesting. Also, I've been telling Heather a lot about it because basically one of the actors is Christopher Eccleston, who is the 9th Doctor. He plays he plays a priest, and yeah, it's just funny. Like, I've just been updating Heather, like, season 1, hey Heather, the 9th Doctor's in the show. Season 2, hey Heather, the 9th Doctor, I saw him naked. He was fully nude in one scene. There's a lot of nudity in this show.
Oh, that totally turns me off from that show, because I like to like listen to your recommendations, but stuff like that makes me so uncomfortable. I'm just like,
oh, just nudity in general. Wait, do you mean nudity in general? Okay, I wasn't sure if you meant nudity in general or like Christopher Eccleston specifically. You didn't want to see him naked specifically.
Nah, dude, he's a hottie.
Honestly, it's not that distracting, at least from what I saw. But I don't know. There is nudity. And what else is really good about the show? I don't want to give too much away, but it's just. I don't know. It's just great. It's just real good. It's just good time. Well, not a good time. It's actually really sad. It makes you cry a lot. I actually didn't cry until like, it's funny. I don't want to spoil anything. I'll try and be really vague, but basically, I didn't actually cry until the 2nd season. Well, I won't tell you when in the 2nd season, but like a baby is stolen from a mother, and like I just started bawling. It's fine, she gets the baby back, but like as soon as the baby got snatched from the mom, I just started bawling, and I couldn't control myself. And my boyfriend was just like, that's what got you after like a season and a half of what we just witnessed? And I was like, I don't know, I could not stop crying about. I don't know why that broke me. It was just really funny because, like, I mean, you watch there's like a lot of traumatic stuff in this show to the characters and like all this stuff. There's a lot of cults and there's just a lot of dark stuff that happens. But for some reason, the first thing that got me to cry was a baby being stolen.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of disturbing though.
Yeah,
like I get it's an art form, but like, I just need to be in a very specific mood to literally subject myself to being uncomfortable and anxious. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, here's the thing though. I just really, I gravitate to shows that are very intense and dramatic and emotional, and even like that involves some violence and nudity, whatever. Heather doesn't. Yeah, most of my family doesn't. And that's like totally normal. I'm just, like most of my family.
Dude. Our mom is a twisted dude. No, she loves horror movies. It's just that her boyfriend does not. He likes
so like they don't watch. Yeah, they only watch rom-coms, and like they don't watch anything dark and sad. Like, I tried to recommend that mom watch Fargo, like, because Fargo the movie, our mom is a big fan of Fargo the movie, but she's never seen the show. So I keep trying to get her to watch the show, but she's like, oh, I don't know, my boyfriend's not gonna want to watch it. And I'm like, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And this is not shade to her boyfriend. Like, we love her boyfriend, but I'm just like, I wish you could watch really dark stuff that I recommend.
Like, I mean, you just need to be in a specific mood for it.
That's
Would
true.
I completely like block it off from my entire scope of entertainment? Maybe not, but also I kind of get it, because it's like subjecting you to negativity and being uncomfortable, basically. So I get it. But
right. It's like the same reason a lot of people don't like horror movies.
Right.
Not because like they have anything against horror movies, but like they don't want to subject themselves to that.
Right.
I enjoy horror movies just because I like the cathartic. But like I used to be like that. I used to never want to watch horror movies because I got so. Oh my god. I remember I was in like
I
high
know
school.
exactly what you're gonna say. Oh no.
Huh? Do you? Okay. Well, what I'm gonna say is like. Like when I was in high school, I remember like we would like have YouTube on like on our TV and stuff, and we would like watch YouTubers and stuff in the living room, and like our parents would be walking by and stuff and just check on whatever we're watching. But like one time, this happened like maybe a couple times actually, but like basically a new Paranormal Activity movie came out, and like that ad would run before the YouTube videos we were gonna watch, and it was like really repetitive for a long time, like a couple weeks, and like it got to a point where like anytime like our dad walked in the room, he was like, turn that off, turn that stuff, turn it off, I don't want to watch it, turn it off, just like the advertisement for a Paranormal Activity movie. He was like, no, turn it, I don't want to watch it. And I was like, I can't watch it, you can't skip it, or you can only skip it after like 10 seconds. And
Yeah.
But yeah, but also our dad freaked out of it, but also I did also freak out whenever I watched it as well. I think one time it was definitely like a 30-second ad, but like after 10 seconds you could skip it or something like that. But like I think one time I watched the whole thing, and after that it was like, nope, done, never seen this movie, I'm never gonna subject myself to this movie.
Yeah,
and I still haven't.
Like and yeah, you tend to gravitate towards things like that. I tend to gravitate towards like comedies.
Yeah.
Unless they're like super ridiculously raunchy, like that just like doesn't, like that's not.
Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, speaking of comedies though, I will say like this isn't a show, but it's a movie that I watched recently. Basically because like my boyfriend and I got HBO Max for the first time. We've just been watching everything we can that we're interested in. But anyway, Crazy Rich Asians is on there, and that's a recent did you ever watch that?
I didn't, but there's this clip from the beginning of it that I've seen on YouTube a bunch, and it's of this guy being super racist, and then the girl just totally owning him, and I just remember seeing that.
I'm trying to remember what
sure it
moment
was Crazy Rich
that
Asians.
was.
It was like a woman who was out in the rain, and then she walked into this super fancy hotel, and she's like, oh, I'd like to be shown to my room. And then the guy at the thing was like, oh, maybe try Chinatown or something like that. I don't know. But I've seen that clip before. I haven't seen the whole movie.
Yes. Yep. I forgot about that. But that's like the beginning, like the very first clip. So I guess that's why I forgot it. But anyway, the whole movie is very fun. Awkwafina's in it. She's great. Chain from Community is in it. Everyone is in it. And it's a great movie. Anyway, I would recommend. That is my comedy recommendation for the day. If you want to watch a good comedy that came out recently, Crazy Rich Asians is great.
You want to know what my comedy rec is?
What?
It's the good place.
I've seen The Good Place.
No, for the people the two people listening.
Oh, yes. Watch The Good Place.
You know what we should do? We
should
name the two people that are listening and be like how Danny Gonzalez does. Hey, Greg, or like, what's up, Greg?
Oh, you want us to?
What is up?
You want us to name our audience
yes.
in like one, but like we'll be okay. Well, I feel like we're stealing from Danny Gonzalez. So okay, look, if Danny
from the same person, Drew Gooden. What does he do? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know what he just says. Hey, guy, welcome back, or
hey,
something.
Guy. That's funny. It doesn't matter. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I guess other shows that I've been watching, or like that I am showing my boyfriend Rick and Morty for the first time, and that's really fun. He's another comedy.
I love.
But yeah,
Rick
no,
and Morty,
he's.
But that is like at the like it almost crosses the line of like my threshold of a funny comedy to a stupidly like way too dark and disturbing comedy. Like
no, I
it's
agree.
Just under that line, and sometimes it goes over.
Yeah, rewatching it for the first time, like, and I've only seen like seasons 1 through 3. I haven't seen season 4 yet. But rewatching it for the first time, it's a lot more dark stuff than I remember. It's still a very well written, comedy show, and
it's a brilliant
very funny
show. It's just like sometimes
it's brilliant. It's very funny, very smart. What else have we been watching? We watched there's this one show on HBO Max called Barry. And I don't think I've told you about this, but this one's really fun. We've only watched the first season, and there's only 2 seasons, and we'll probably go back to the second season. But like the reason we didn't get super into it was because like it's very good, it's very smart, but the comedy is super dry, which is hard to get into for my boyfriend and I. But it's really good dry comedy. It's just like we'll probably wait before we jump into season 2. But anyway, it's a really fun premise. The premise is it's an assassin that wants to be an actor.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Bill Hader. Bill Hader's in it as well. Oh yeah, it's a show. I sent you a picture of like the woman who plays Janet and then the woman who plays Simone in The Good Place. Both of those actresses are in it as well.
Cool.
But yeah, it's
Drew, or no, not Drew. Darcy. What's her name?
Yeah.
Darcy Carden.
Darcy something. Yeah.
Darcy Cardi. I don't know, but she is brilliant. I want to talk about The Good Place a little bit, and I'll mention that. But
yeah. So that's just a general stuff we've been watching. We want to watch Black Flag next. We're really excited to watch Black Sails. So basically, it's
the hit Assassin's Creed video game, Black Flag.
No, you don't understand. I literally had this exchange with my boyfriend earlier, but I was like, oh, maybe the next two we should watch should be I forgot what it's called, the pirate one, and he was like, oh, Black Sails, and I was like, yes, Black Sails. I sought Black Sails, but I didn't say Black Sails because I thought that was the Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, really?
The show's called Black Sails. Actually, Luther from Umbrella Academy is in it.
Ooh, he's great too.
Yeah, but like it's a pirate show. He's seen the first 2 seasons, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's probably up next on our chopping block of shows. Yeah. He said it was really, really good.
Well, cool.
Have you been watching anything besides A Good Place?
Well, yes. I had seen the first 3 seasons, and then the 4th season was uploaded to Netflix a few months ago, and then I just watched the entire show again from season 1 to the ending. Loved it. It was great. Specifically, I was gonna say Darcy Carden, who plays the robot Janet, just has this one episode in, I think, season 3 where she plays all of the main characters all at once, and it's just so brilliant. If you ever want to see some really good acting, the plot can be a little bit shifty sometimes, but and it's not like the most brilliant show I've ever seen, but it's really good and it's very enjoyable if you want to just like turn something on and laugh, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a really smart sitcom, and it's really it's a very subversive sitcom, and I'm a big fan of it as well.
It uses like the only gripe I would say I have about it is like I feel like it uses the exact same trope over and over again, where it's like somebody just is talking about a problem, and then one word out of that problem springs an idea from another character, and they're like, "Come on, let's go, gang!" And then it's like they literally use that over and over and over again, and it's not necessarily like a bad thing, but it's like you're reusing a trope 13 million times. But yeah,
that's funny.
I watched that. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I watched the first couple episodes of The Queen's Gambit. I really enjoyed that. I stopped watching it because I thought it was going to get weird, and then I was like, I just don't want to deal with this right now, because it's one of those like anxiety-inducing shows, and I was just like, I'm good, and then I haven't gotten back to it. But the first couple episodes were really good. I enjoyed them. A person that exists, my boyfriend and I watched Knives Out the other night, which we don't watch a lot of movies, but recently been wanting to watch movies. We're watching Klaus right now, and he's an idiot, and he keeps coming into my room and being like, do you want to finish Claus tonight? And I'm like, it's Klaus. That movie Claus. But yeah, we watched Knives Out.
Oh my god,
what were you gonna say?
Yeah, sorry, this is sorry, I was gonna interrupt just to say, when you mentioned Klaus, and it reminded me, this isn't a movie or a show, but it's a music video. Basically, Dodie Clark, she has a new song out, and like the music video for it reminds me so much of Klaus, because it's literally
song?
her. It's called Hate Myself. The song is called Hate Myself, and it's really good. But like the music video is has nothing to do with the song. But like the music video is so entertaining to watch, because it's just her like training to be a postie or a postman or something.
Oh, funny.
Anyway, it's just really cute, and it just gives me like the climax of the video is her like putting on the jacket and then putting on the postie hat, and she's just so cute. She's just so cute. And it's just about her like jogging around this little town trying to deliver letters, and oh my god, she's just the cutest thing ever.
She is very,
and it just it's like if the movie Klaus was a music video minus all the Christmas stuff.
Yeah, love that. That's great. Yeah. I haven't watched anything new recently. I started Parasite, and then I kind of didn't like it, so I shut it off.
You have to finish watching it.
I know. It's just... And then, like, the kid, and then he went in to lean in to kiss the younger, minor kid, and I was just like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I literally shut it off. Stuff like that, I just don't want it. I don't want it in my life.
I get
don't
it.
want it in my psyche. I just can't see it. But I know I have to watch Parasite, because it's, like, a groundbreaking film.
I assure you that's not the focus of the rest of the film.
I know.
But I think it would have made me, obviously it's kind of gross either way, but, like, it would have made me more uncomfortable if he was, like, a real adult. But, like, he's only kind of young adult college age.
Right,
it is gross. I am trying to
difference
justify it. I'm kind of gross. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm not trying to justify it.
It's not like she's a 15-year-old girl and he's like 36, like 15 versus like 17 or 18. I don't even think they ever mentioned their ages. It just makes me feel weird, so I shut it off and we watched Knives Out instead. Which, by the way, Knives Out is also a really amazing movie.
Amazing.
It's very good.
Groundbreaking. It's very good.
Anyway, do you want to move on to another topic?
I've been reading a lot. I got Audible as soon as I got kicked out of school in March. So in general, I've just been reading a lot. But since the semester, I'm just gonna try and like list off a couple books that I've really been enjoying. Let me find it. So. Oh, there's one book that like I literally have to. I think this is a theme with me, but I don't rewatch stuff. I don't reread stuff. But this one book, it's a novella, I guess. But it's called "This Is How You Lose the Time War," and it's so good. It's so good. I'm re-listening to it right now because I liked it so much, and it's just also part of it is because like the writing is so lyrical and poetic and beautiful, and abstract in some ways. That's part of why I do, because like I feel like I just missed a lot of stuff the first time I listened to it, so I need to re-listen to this. But anyway, it's about it's about two like time spies. It's about two like late girl time spies, but like they're on opposing sides of the time war, and they start writing each other letters, and they fall in love, and it's great.
Yay!
It is sapphic sci-fi at its finest.
I love that.
It's so I love it so
missed
much.
This year, I didn't watch the gay Christmas movie that came out on Netflix.
And I didn't watch it either. Right. The only reason I didn't watch it because like I don't have Hulu, so that's why. But I really want to see it.
One of my best friends from high school watched it, and she told me that I should watch it because it's really good.
Yeah, I would watch it now. Like if someone gave me Hulu right now, I would probably watch it.
Wait,
even
it's
though
on
it's January.
Hulu?
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's like a Hulu original, isn't it?
What is it called?
The Happiest Season, I think.
Oh. Yeah. I thought it was on Netflix. Maybe you're right. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Anyway, I have like the Hulu Spotify thing, so
yeah. Then you should probably watch it, and then we should do like one of those like I don't know I don't know if it would work on Zoom, but like you should watch it, and you should share your screen on. Then I'll join your Zoom call, and then we can both watch Happiest Season. We can both watch the gay Christmas movie
on the podcast.
Yes.
Let's just like do a non-copy, like no way you could ever monetize this in a million years, just like post it for no reason and just get total strike.
What else have I been reading? Okay, so I don't like a lot of Audible originals. Like usually when I grab one, it's like when I pick one up and read it, it's like I'm gonna read it because I want it because I'm a completionist, but like I don't like a lot of Audible originals. But I found this one by Jesse Eisenberg. And it's called When You Finish Saving the World. And I really like it a lot. It's really good. It's like 12 books between like the perspectives of 3 different characters. Like this dad who's trying to, and like they're all like, it's like a little family, like the mom and the dad and the son. But like the dad tells his story when his son is a baby and he's trying to connect with his son. And then the son tells his story when he's like a teenager, and it's like in the future, and like he uses like a lot of futuristic slang, like, oh, that's so warped, and I don't know, random stuff like that. I forgot. Very fun. That was so pause. Like that's another one. Very silly, a lot of fun. And then like the other one is the mom, but like the mom like 20 years in the past, like in the 2000s, when she like is in a long distance relationship with like a boyfriend that's about to die, but she doesn't know he's about to die. Anyway, it's just really cool. I really liked it. I liked all the characters. It felt like a really contained story, and you really got to know all these characters. And I don't know. Also, I just like Jesse Eisenberg and his voice. And also, it's interesting to read something written by him, because like, you know, the way he talks super fast, and he talks really like, you know, his mind is like all, you know, when you're watching him in a movie or something.
Chaotic.
Yeah, but like that chaotic energy when he's writing kind of bleeds into the other characters that he writes, and it's like it like he only was physically reading or like verbally reading like one part of the book, but like even in all the other two characters, you could tell it was written by him, because it feels like the whole thing is written by him, because all the characters and all the voice actors have that same kind of chaotic energy, and it's just very entertaining to listen to. I really liked it. What else have I read? I'll just do one more, I promise. But I liked Halsey's poetry collection. I really like Halsey, and I don't listen to a lot of poetry on Audible. I usually like to get poetry books, like physical copies. But this one, just because I like her music and I like her voice, I wanted to get it, you know, just of her reading her poetry. And I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't read. Actually, I do read. I am currently reading this super, super interesting nonfiction
Textbook
called Concise Introduction to Tonal Harmony.
Nice. Yeah, you said you wanted to talk about the dog.
Oh yeah. So I think I mentioned on a previous podcast, I moved over the course of my winter break. So from fall to spring, I moved to a different location where I'm now, instead of 20 minutes away from school, I'm 5 minutes away from school, which is super great. And the difference is I was previously living in a house with 2 dogs and 3 cats and some fish and a lizard, I think, at one point.
Oh, didn't they have a turtle as well at one point?
No,
like a big turtle?
They didn't have a turtle. They had... Wait, did they have the turtle? Oh, no.
I thought they did.
Where I live now, yes, there are turtles.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yes.
So the pets that I do have surrounded with me now are a 2-year-old husky and then 2 tortoises. One of them is like... And the other one is like... I don't know, like 12 and 8 maybe? I don't know. Oh. They live to be like 100. I don't know. Living with a husky is interesting. And again, she's not my dog, so I don't really take care of her. But like, oftentimes I'm the only person here during the day. Like most everybody else is at work. I'm just kind of here doing schoolwork. So I'll like babysit her, because normally they're kind of like in that phase where you have a dog and it's a puppy, and she's also a rescue. She's a husky, and that makes it more difficult too, because she's a husky.
You've said that she's a husky like 5 times.
Yeah, I'm trying to really drill that, because huskies are insane. They're literally insane. Like, I've never experienced a dog more insane than this dog.
Oh
and
my
she's
God.
super sweet, and I love her, but she is super chaotic. And it's funny.
It's a Jesse Eisenberg of dogs.
Yeah, she's the Jesse Eisenberg of dogs. Yeah, but it's kind of been like an interesting transition, because when I lived in my other place, I basically hung out with cats all the time, and now like there were 3 cats in the place that I lived, and because they were afraid of the 2 dogs, they would oftentimes just spend time in my room. They'd like scratch and meow to get into my room, and then I'd shut the door, and then they'd just hang out in my room. So I like had like little beds on them, beds for them periodically, like on my desk. So I would oftentimes have 3 cats on my desk while I worked. And now it's kind of a different dynamic, and it's kind of been interesting to adjust to that. Today, for example, because here's the thing, she has separation anxiety. So she's, like I said, she's a rescue, so she's got all sorts of like problems from where she was previously. That's kind of how it goes when you get a rescue. But so she has a lot of separation anxiety, and it's been very helpful to be like have a person, because normally if there's not a person in the house, she thinks that, you know, no, she doesn't have object permanence, so she's like, oh, I am alone forever. I'm going into survival mode. And then she'll like,
when I learned that about dogs, I was so sad. I think I learned that when I was like in high school, and I was like, they don't have what? They when you leave, they think you're gone forever? No.
Yeah, so she'll, every single time that they would leave before I moved in, they would like, she would like break stuff, and she would rummage through the trash. How dogs are, and puppies, and also huskies just are. So me being here has been interesting. But because of that, like sometimes I don't trust her, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be in class for about the next multiple hours, and I'm gonna need you to not be chaotic, because sometimes, like, if I'm in class and I just leave my door open and let her wander the entire house, it's like a massive house, she'll come up like while I'm in class, and she'll be like panting as if she was like playing around like with herself, and then like chasing her tail or something. I don't know what she's doing downstairs. She must be like starting a communist dictatorship down there. I don't know what she's doing. She's like,
why do you keep calling people and dogs communists? you just call everybody a communist. Oh my God.
Yeah, so, you know, she'll be like going crazy downstairs doing whatever. But recently, like this week of my grocery shopping, I purchased a bunch of like chicken drumsticks, because they were like on sale at the grocery store or whatever, like high quality chicken drumsticks that I can like put in the air fryer or do whatever. Problem is, dogs can't eat chicken bones. You know that, because we've had dogs for forever. It's like you cannot give a dog a chicken bone, because they'll splinter and they'll hurt them. But like I'll eat lunch, and then I'll throw away the bones from the chicken that I air fried and ate, and they'll be in the trash, and I know that if I leave her downstairs, she'll just go through the trash, and I don't want her to get those bones and choke herself, you know what I mean? So I've been like, that's just like been a source of anxiety for me recently. So I've been like, okay, while I'm in class, after I've eaten lunch, you're going to have to stay in my room with me. And that's not good because she doesn't like being trapped places. If she knows I'm trying to like keep her in one spot, she will get very angry. So like yesterday, she kind of was like jumping on me while I was in class, and I was like trying to like shove her down. Like I'm like trying to play piano, and also at the same time I'm trying to shove away a dog. And it's been interesting. But today specifically, I was in my voice class, so I basically have like a rotating office. So like if I want to be sitting down and doing work, I've got like my mic and it sits in a certain spot, and my computer and it sits in a certain spot, like my audio interface, everything. But if I want to be standing to do like a repertoire lesson for school, I have to like switch everything to my second desk on the other side of the room. Doesn't really make sense unless you see it, but that's basically what it is. So I had my like second office position set up, and there were just like a lot of cords everywhere, and that's just like how it is. And I was in the middle of a repertoire lesson, in the middle of singing for a professor, off mute. And this dog like tries to like walk around me, and then she got caught on my headphone wire and yanked all of my super expensive equipment onto the floor.
Oh my God. Is your stuff okay?
It's all good, but I was like, in the middle of my lesson, all of my audio got unplugged. Like my professor couldn't hear me. It was the worst. So I had to like,
were they understanding kind of?
Yeah, he was fine. It was just like, oh, that's funny, dog. But it's so frustrating because she would also be like jumping on me and scratching me and biting me in the middle of my class and my lesson because she wanted to get out. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to chill out. Like, I can't let you out right now because I know you're gonna go downstairs, so you're gonna rummage through the trash, get the chicken bones, and kill yourself. Like, I don't want that. So I have to be like, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else, either not buy food with remnants to it in the future or something.
Probably.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but that's kind of what's going on in my life right now. I'm just getting used to living with a dog that still is kind of like hesitant about me. I've known her. Yeah. I mean, she's 2. She just turned 2. Sorry, I just hit my piano on accident.
Ding!
Just fire chords a minute. Here, you ready?
Yes.
I have a
amazing, spectacular, show-stopping.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, that's my life right now.
Yeah, I live with a cat.
Yeah, I love your cat.
Yeah, he's a good boy. His name is Pepita. He's a very good boy. He doesn't get into that. He gets into mischief, but he doesn't get that kind of mischief. Like,
right.
If anything, he wants to hop into my lap while I'm in the middle of a class. Like, he doesn't like knock my stuff over. He's not very big.
The cat that I used to live with at my previous house, she would literally, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to insert this really funny clip in the podcast. One time she would like just like jump up and like get in front of my camera and literally sit in front of my camera like she was a student in class, and I'm just like, well,
that's funny.
You're gonna have to learn your piano scales, little lady, because I'm not doing it. I don't go here anymore. You took my spot. But I recorded this really funny video at one point when I was trying to do like an individual choral recording, and I was like, okay, I have my very nice professional background, my makeup's all great, I have my professional lighting, and I like went to take a breath to do my like my song and perform my part of that piece, and then she just like jumped up, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It was like my 6th take. I was so annoyed. I'm gonna insert it here.
Oh, that's so cute. I guess that's everything. I guess that's all we have to say, really. That's everything that's going on. Well, that's everything that's going on that we can fit into an hour, I should say.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, thank you for listening. We've enjoyed
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked listening to us talk to each other about boring things.
Yes. Anyway, we will catch you next week.